everybody. It's Rob. We're back with another 5-minute member talk, and today we're excited to have Theresa Sullivan and Greg Finch from Holy Cross Funeral and Cemetery Services in Spokane, Washington. Hi, how are you guys tonight?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Doing good. Thanks for joining us here. So, wanted to just reach out to you. You guys are kind of in a unique position. You are with, as we said, Holy Cross Funeral and Cemetery Services. What do you do for them? What's your position there?
Well, I'll start. I'm Greg. I'm the lead funeral director, embalmer for Holy Cross Funeral and Cemetery, and Theresa represents our entire staff of funeral directors, her and I. We're pretty privileged and honored to be able to work for Holy Cross Funeral and Cemetery. It's got an amazing history. I can give you just a rundown of it, probably within a minute.
Yeah, please do. Share with that. I'd love to hear it.
Way back in the early 1930s, then Bishop White of the Spokane Diocese purchased 80 acres of land in extreme North Spokane. And everybody back then thought he was crazy for doing that because it was way out in the sticks and it took forever to get to this church-owned property. And what you now recognize today in the 7200 block of North Wall Street is our #1 cemetery, Holy Cross Catholic Cemetery, run by the diocese. Many people don't know that this property encompasses from Wall all the way to Division. And we have just under 30,000 interments in this cemetery alone. It was then in the 1990s that the old St. Joseph's Church out on Trent had outgrown itself. We were actually told that parishioners were literally hanging out the windows every Sunday at Mass. So we purchased the building and the surrounding church cemetery, and they took those funds and went and built the new St. Joseph's Church in Otis Orchards. That became our second Catholic cemetery. And then in the early 2000s, late 1990s, the Immaculate Heart Retreat Center up on the South Hill asked us if we would come on board. So we purchased some acreage around there and developed our third Catholic cemetery called Queen of Peace Catholic Cemetery. It was in 2012 that then Bishop Supich, now Cardinal Supich, came to Jim Faulkner at the cemetery and said, we need to figure out how we can also provide funeral and cremation services to our parishioners and the Christian community in Spokane, because he felt there was a need. We consulted the help of a company primarily out of California called Catholic Management Services. They gave us some ideas on how to become a funeral and cremation provider. Very simply, we began a care center business model where we didn't build a $5 million funeral home. We entered a shared service agreement with a very small cremation provider in town. We utilized that facility to take care of our deceased. At our existing offices, we installed casket showrooms, urn showrooms, office meeting arrangement places to meet with our families. So we can meet with our families at all three of our locations. We take care of our deceased at our care center. First full year was 2014, where we helped 65 families. Just last year, we served almost 200. So wow. In 5 years, we feel like there was a need. We feel like we're filling that need. We are unique in that we're the only nonprofit ministry-based funeral and cremation provider in town. We are an extension of the Spokane Diocese. I think I can speak for Theresa when I say that it's extremely refreshing to be able to sit down in front of a family and do the right things for the right reasons, keeping your focus on the ministry of the corporal work of mercy of burying our dead. In a nutshell, that's us.
That's great. I love how it started so far away from civilization, the very beginnings of it, and now with the way civilization has grown, you're almost downtown Spokane practically.
Exactly.
Only took, what, 100 and some odd years to do it, but
Exactly.
so that's great. Well, listen, we are just about out of time. We've got about 20 or so seconds left, but I know people would love to be able to get in touch with you. How would they do that? How do people get in touch with you?
Well, our website, they can reach us there at, of course, www.holycrossofspokane.org.
And then they can send an email directly to our general email box at info@holycrossofspokane.org.
Excellent. Well, Greg, Theresa, wonderful to have you. I do want to point out that Theresa is also the district leader of the Inland Empire Funeral Directors District and sits on the board of directors for Washington State Funeral Directors Association.
Yeah,
So happy to have you here with us. Happy to have both of you on this. And thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having us, and God bless everyone.
All right. Well, we will see you again very shortly. Again, as always, if you like 5-Minute Member Talk, please subscribe down below. Like us, friend us. If you want to be a part of this program, give me a call anytime, and we'll be happy to get you on board. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week.